Going live, going live, going live. You're live. Welcome, everyone. And on this, Friday, Saturday, 26th, 27th of June, 2020. And yes, indeed, we're here to celebrate men. And we're here to celebrate, what? Greg Adams just went live? Who in the hell cares? Really? He's, he has some red pill content, that's for sure. But ultimately, he's talking about men getting together with women in this day and age. He should know better. He's not going to accept responsibility for his advice, so screw him. Well, somebody probably is. And, maybe he's taking the right precautions for himself. I don't know. But you've got 50,000 subs, do the math. 1% every weekend, go out, do the math. And how many of those people are going to wind up? You know where, you know how. And then there's going to be fucks given because, you can't say no fucks given to a judge, because he's got cops in his court. And they give a fuck. So they give a fuck before they take your shit. And what are they taking? What are they taking now? I think they're taking bad things. I think they're taking bad things. Namely, they're taking, people's life, their civilization, their lifestyle. They're taking everything. They ain't going to give up. They're not going to stop until, they destroy everything, until they turn men against each other. They're not going to win in that, I hope, though. Ultimately, all men have been incrementally dispossessed of what they have, what they should have. And, they go after one cultural or ethnic community first, and then they go after another, and then one points another and say, you've got a privilege because you're less oppressed than me. What in the hell is that? Men have been oppressed, I found, at least since 1640, when Oliver Cromwell said that men have to get a license from the government in order to start a family and preserve the community. Okay, fuck you. I don't need to ask you. You're a horrible man. He was a horrible man. He killed the king. And this is not a good thing to do. The king was, who knows, going to protect the people or not beat them up as bad as Parliament. But Oliver Cromwell disposed of a lot of men. And he started this whole thing where men need to beg the government for permission to do shit. And it's just gone incrementally downhill from there. And we're in the middle of this cycle of construction and destruction. And, I think we're in a phase of both construction and destruction. Something's being constructed, namely idiocracy, and something's under, destruction, which is any semblance of reason, any semblance of the power that modern science gave us. I recently, put a, quote down, as my normal Cox postulates as the modern science method of determining a cause and effect relationship. And I was told, no, they don't do it like that anymore. With all these environmental factors, they're trying to, fine tune and say, echo. Echo? Are we getting an echo? Echo? I don't know. Anyway, if we're getting an echo, please let me know. Anyway,
powering off.
So we've got people just abandoning modern science and putting people under lockdown, which is house arrest. It's not a quarantine. It's a lockdown. This is and this great sheriff from Washington State apparently said, don't wear a mask, don't be a sheep. As far as I can tell, there's been no cause and effect relationship. What you read in the newspapers is involved with or related to, as opposed to caused by, deaths related to COVID-19. Deaths involved with COVID-19. And in the middle of this, everyone's encouraged to wear masks and then go out on the streets and protest. And apparently, the Americans in Washington, D.C., the capital, are not going to have a celebration of the country. Well, I don't think there's anything to celebrate. You've got a bunch of idiots going around. You've got a bunch of people who immediately forget history. I'm older. I'm 56. And well, we're going to say that that I remember. I remember when hearing about just recently after LBJ put in the the do-goodery of paying black women to have babies and shuffle the black men out of the black families, and then they went down the road of criminality because they hanging out smoking dope, and why in the hell wouldn't you? And then they got arrested for it, and then it's a cycle of prison to the street to God only knows where, and they led the path. And then the police got to say, well, we can always count on a black guy to do something to get him to go to jail, and then I get a promotion. Okay. And so here we go with this cycle, and now, 30, 40 years later, people are saying, well, the police are targeting them. Well, yes, they are. They're targeting them because, you made this 3 strikes you're out, the stupidest thing. Should have been for violent crime, but instead it was for smoking dope. And nobody understands. So, yeah. Popper. I like Popper, Trav. In fact, I use Popper in he's pretty famous in a couple of areas, but one of them is the philosophy of science. And, he's a proponent of modern science, as am I. And this is what we've got. We've got an abandonment of modern science. I'm absolutely sure that Popper would agree. They're trying to replace it with a statistical science, and you can't do that. You can't do it. Economics, political science, these are not modern sciences. These are statistical sciences. They don't show a cause and effect relationship. If you build a bridge on a statistical science, please tell me, because I ain't going across it. No way. I ain't going across any such bridge. Anyway, here's Minktow Warrior. Hey, welcome, Warrior. Hope you're well. I hope things are going better for you. And we're looking at worse things coming. So for you, for everyone, don't let it happen. Whatever it is, don't let the disposability happen to you. Do something that you need to give yourself some resilience in this, because they're coming. They're coming for you. It doesn't matter who you are. They're coming for you. Black, white, Asian, polka dot, it don't matter. And men are at the bottom of the ladder. Maybe there's a hierarchy down there, but it doesn't really matter. Anyone's going up, and this is what it's going to be. And so, get ready. Are you ready? There may be better places to live or worse places to live. You want to find out. You want to find what's going to happen. But we're looking at nastiness happening. I think the probability of nastiness happening, the economy looks like it's bumbling. And there's just, there's great reward. Obviously, people are making millions in the stock market, going up and down and up and down. There's great reward, but that means there's great risk. And when you centralize risk, then risk is reward until it is not. And there's going to be a price to pay in all of this. Apparently, the accumulated debt of the United States, and as it would be in other countries, has gone up like $3 trillion in like a couple of months. And so it's like a roller coaster ride down to hell. When you start, increasing your debt by that much every month, people are going to lose confidence in the currency. Then you're going down. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Bad Max. Whatever happened when they took Don Cherry off the air? You knew that something was wrong. You knew that something was wrong. Don Cherry is indeed a philosopher of the people. He's a man of the people, and spoke his mind, and he was clear, and he respected men, and he was, I think, gallant towards women, but he respected men, and nobody wound up respecting him at the end, did they now? Although a lot of people still speak up for him, I'm sure. But maybe you should get a YouTube channel. Don, is he on? Is he on YouTube? For those Americans who don't know Don Cherry, he's a great man, no question. They took him off because he said something nasty. But yeah, nothing against the Europeans on the channel, but it's a North American sport. It comes from, I believe, lacrosse, and although I gotta say, the rules of lacrosse have changed in lacrosse, and they changed more in hockey, where anything was legal in lacrosse when the Native American and Native Canadian Indians were playing that ball game. Anything was legal. It was you could take your lacrosse stick and just smash it over some guy's head. You could take the butt of it and drive it in under his chin. It didn't matter. And, it was all legal. And so it was a vicious game. And hockey has some of that element in it. And, they draw the line of spearing, which is probably good. You're not allowed to throw your stick as a spear. And anyone who does is booed heavily. And they're thrown off the ice, But, the other stuff, a little rough and tumble is fine. Yeah. If you don't know, and indeed love Don Cherry, a soulless heathen, yes you are. And this is the toughness that men needed to survive. In the world of the Indians, you needed to be a lot tougher than you were in even the Europe of the 1600s. You needed to be super tough. And again, there was no pity, there was no mercy, and the Europeans introduced a bit of that when they came over, but now the Europeans have gone full on. I hear values two times. Every time for whatever reason. Am I getting an echo? I don't, I'm here, the mic's on. Oh, let me go to the main page. What am I doing here? There we go. Sorry about that, I forgot to go to the main page. And we got some slide shares happening. Black pill. MGTOW is solidly above the black pill. Oh my God. Let me speak. Anyway, but recently I did the incel, and incel is getting promotion, and we got to watch out for that. The incels seem to capture the imagination because they drive cars into large groups of people and other such things. And thanks, Monk Music. And this is it. Hey, what are you doing up at this hour? Oh yeah, you get up early. You know what they say, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and healthy, wealthy, and anyway, it helps. So get up early, do the stuff you got to do. Go out, get a second job, get a third job, dust off your CV, get ready to move, get ready for action. And, I don't see good things happening on many fronts in Europe, in America, in Australia. Indeed, in other countries, I think they've resigned themselves to a failing system. The Japanese, I think, are resigned just to let it ride out. And that's sweet. That's sweet, Monk Music. Oh, I think once I get going here, I think I've done the intro. We've got good input here on destruction and construction, and what we've got is okay, it may begin with destruction, but they sort of go hand in hand, like flip sides of a coin. But if you manage the construction well, the destruction isn't quite so painful. And if you manage the destruction well, then the construction isn't quite as predatory. And what we had was people way back when, a confluence of events. Okay, they made a lawful act, smoking marijuana, punishable. Now you just think about it. It's legal, but what does legal mean? Legal means just really not punishable. But you cannot make an unlawful act legal because it's unlawful. So now that marijuana smoking is legal, that means it's just unpunishable, but it also means that it was always lawful. And so, because you cannot make an unlawful act lawful. So what we have here is a destruction of the community by making a lawful act unlawful. And ultimately, the movie The Purge, this was nonsensical because it was attempting to make an unlawful act legal. That is murder, rape, pillage, whatever. And you can't do this. No community can do this. And so, okay, we can put ourselves into a suspended disbelief in the movie and ride with it. But any community that attempts to punish a lawful act is doomed to failure. And I put that in the description. And this is what we're seeing now. It's now being unlawful act to be white, to be a man. And at that point, it's game over. It's game over. And it'll be a fast demise. It'll be a fast destruction. And this is something that should worry, I think, all men. Because pretty soon it's going to be punishable to be a man. In fact, they're trying to do that. And, they'll do it one way or they'll do it another way. They did it to the black men first. They went in and destroyed their community. And they did it in a horrible way. And then, a confluence. And now the police are beating them up. Okay, yeah, no question. They beat up everyone, but they beat them up worse because, well, they were dispossessed of their normal lives first, and MGTOW have to worry about this. Men have been dispossessed of their normal lives, and all MGTOW men are in some way aware of that. Although I have a normal life in some way, it's not the normal life of somebody born in Canada. This is just not a normal life of somebody born in Canada. And that's what it is. And that's what MGTOW causes to have happen. And at that point, you've got to choose. And, if you're just hanging out, then in the hood with the gangster rap, well, you're going to get picked on because the police know that they get their promotion that way. And they're just following, modern police statistical methods, not the principles of Sir Robert Peel, but they're following, statistical methods. Well, we're more likely to get a criminal out of the black community because, they do that smoking marijuana stuff and they normally carry it on them. So we can always get them for that. So they picked on them first. Okay. Other groups they didn't pick on so much. And, the Asians come over and they're just interested in making money right now. Give it a couple of generations, they'll start getting in trouble, just like the whites, just like the blacks, just like the Indians. Everyone wants to get in trouble. Eventually, you get used to it. So this is what we've come across. We've come across the dispossession of men, and in the many ways they're getting picked on. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Do not let that happen. Go your own way. Stay out of the system. And Johnny Midnight's here. Hey, Johnny. Hey, did you know Element put up a video just the other day? Element put up a video. And he was warning about it. He says his message was dark. I agree, but I agree with his message. And I put a fairly humorous comment down there. You got to do something to lighten the mood here. There's a probability that things are going to go south big time, and that probability is going up week by week over the last number of weeks. We don't know what's going to happen in Seattle. Apparently, we've got a lot of things happening. Some people are saying it's over, and some people are staying. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And there we are. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, very good. Hi, my name is Johnny Midnight, and I'm a MGTOW. Yeah, that's the way it should be, eh? That's the way it should be. Men don't get caught up in following what the herd does, whatever the herd is. You know, the police will pick you off if you do the wrong thing. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame not to be free, but this is what it's about. It's about remaining free in this system, remaining sane in this system, and knowing that part of the destruction is to make you crazy. The first casualty of war is truth, and we are in a war. And talking about war, let's see if I can't get Google Hangouts going up, and let's see if we can bring in monk music. Monk music. Let's see. We'll try to have that happen. Anyone else wants to join in? Just let me know, and let me see if I can get my headphones going. And
Right, how you doing?
Powering on.
Powering on. Mic on.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello? I certainly can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Bit tired. You past 2 in the morning, eh?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. My God, it's in the middle of the night. So,
yeah, there's something alarm so I could join in.
Yeah, well, no, it's good to have you in here. It's good to have you in here. How are things this week? We had a whole week.
Well, Britain's gone to shit, but
has it really?
I'm okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, I believe, did a protest in London, 13 stabbed.
13? Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, what I read. I don't know if it's true or not. I wasn't there. I mean, it could be anything, couldn't it? There was a couple dead, I think, or 3 dead or something.
Wow. Did they use knives or did they use like spoons and forks?
I have no idea.
My God, I thought they banned knives in.
Yeah, but Sadiq Khan's a dick, isn't he? He's just let London rot. But London's a shithole anyways. You know, it's always has been.
I don't know, but always has been. Wasn't it sort of lively and nice at one point? There was a couple of years, I think, after they stopped.
Yeah, between the plague and World War. Yeah. Just after the plague, probably once the bodies had been burned. But after that, the rest of the time it's been a shithole.
Yeah, I think there was a time, the late Victorian era. You know, after the coal pollution sort of dwindled a bit, you could see the sky.
In between all the.
Yeah. See, good stuff.
Yeah, well.
Good stuff, and now it's a shithole. Well, oh well. That's happening all the way around the world.
There was the big stink, then there was a cholera outbreak, then there was the Jack the Ripper era. No, it's a shithole.
Yeah, well, this is I think the future of the world. It's going to be. Don't
go to London, folks. It's crap.
It's going to be like that in many places. So the thing to do is to find a place that's nice, and get out of the shitholes, because apparently there's lots of shitholes, especially in America. All the cities now are shitholes. I don't know who that sheriff is in Washington State, talking about the state government requiring masks. He said he's not going to enforce it in his county, and anyone who does is like sheep. And he said, don't be like sheep. Huh. So
I've just realised something. I've got my YouTube on. Oh, hang on. No, I haven't. I'm on my phone, aren't I? Oh, it's okay.
There you go. No, we're not getting an echo. No one's saying echo. So, right. We've got Marxists out there. We've got a lot of Marxists. And we've got that wonderful professor of Indian descent in Cambridge who's saying white lives don't matter. Oh, that's lovely. I think I like the UK now. It's a lovely place. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know what to think. I just stay out of the way. Just don't engage, folks. There's no point.
There we go. This is the new motto. Don't engage with any of this. It's trying to pull people in. It's trying to create division. It's trying to foment men getting against men, being against men. Don't do it. This has been an attack on men for a long time, and however it twists and turns, however women want to do it, right? Because women have been in charge of this gynocentric system, either directly or through their proxies of simps and white knights and manginas and the rest of them. So this is not a good way to be. But MGTOW is going to lead the way and has led the way for a long time. And, yep. Always good advice. That's what we hope for on this channel. Good advice for old men. Good advice for young men. Take a daily red pill. That's smart. That's good. You want to stay out of harm's way, because once they get the clutches in you, once you invite the government into your bedroom, into your life, you're finished. They won't stop until they get all of it out. They'll take everything from you. Yeah.
I mean, getting fucked is both the metaphorical and the actual.
Yep.
What do you call it before? A confluence? My God, there has one. There is one.
I got no idea, Johnny Midnight, what the hell that means. Hit that like button like Richard Burton on Liz Taylor. Wow. Did he hit her? Maybe so. Yeah, they got divorced once, and then they got married again, then they got divorced again. My God. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Then she pulled the pin on the fat grenade. Hit that wall like she'd gone off the Eiffel Tower. Like Clemson, the Birdman, hitting the ground. Yeah, well, just like that guy, Steve Bing. I did a show on him in the middle of the week. He's Swamp Chad. He's a Chad. Received $800 million from his grandfather when he was like 19 years old. $800 million. Anyway. $800 million? Wow.
From his grandfather. Anyway, he lived the life of, he never married. He impregnated 2 women and denied fathering their children. He tried to throw this other guy, a really rich guy, Kirk Kerkorian, under the bus, and, via some hypergamous woman. But, this is all, the swamp Chad. I think the fact that his friend, and apparently they were friends with Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the fact that he's no longer around and the old Lolita Express and whatever replaced it's no longer flying, just made life unlivable for him. And so he jumped off a tall building. Yep. What a piece of work that guy was. Anyway, one of the swamp Chads is gone, and so many others are falling, and Weinstein is fallen, and all the rest of them, So that's what Trump said he was going to do, and now we see the result of it. The mass media.
Now we see the violence inherent in the system.
There you go. Yes, that's what we're seeing.
Now we see the violence. Don't you repress me.
Yeah. I put that in the description today, but I wanted to point out that it's not inherent in the system. The system was made to put violence in it. There was, no violence before they destroyed the black family. Now they created, men wandering about, forlorn and lost back in the late 1960s. So they went for it and gave the police what they needed. And there we have the violence. So you create the situation, you destroy something, then you construct something. So they constructed the prison industrial complex, and I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of police departments calling it the criminal justice system. They will never, ever get better until they just call it what it is. It's a prison industrial system. All of it. And, of course, they're never going to do that, so they're never going to be able to fix it.
Yeah, well, and while the clock's still chiming 13. It's not going to change.
While the clock is chiming 13.
Come on, folks. Who's going to get the reference?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be Alice, right?
I thought it was the first line in 1984.
Ah, very good, very good. Another.
While the clock was chiming, I hardly read any of it. That's the only bit I can remember.
Yeah. Well, you don't really want to remember any of it, but unfortunately,
no, you don't need to. Do you just live through it?
Exactly, that's it. You don't need to remember anything now. This is 1984, the worst of it. This is Brave New World, the worst.
And even he got screwed up by having it off with a bird.
Yeah.
Think about it. Comes off, has it off with a bird, falls in love, and then they knacker him for it. Put him in room 101, facing all his fears.
The rats exactly are coming.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we've got now. Terrible.
Yeah. No, I see something now that in this prison industrial complex. Okay, they first started with the black men, throwing them out of the homes and families, get them into the system, and now the daddies for cash. That's it. They've entwined them in the prison industrial system, and so they're going to hook everything up to the prison industrial system. It's going to be maybe the only profitable system left. So this is the one that they're putting their a lot of people maybe are putting their hopes on, that the prison industrial system will eventually get every man into the prison industrial system. Either you're in it or you're working for it, or both. So this is it.
Comes to something when Alex Jones gets everything all right on the nose.
Why? What did he say about?
Well, he's got there's a clue in his website, Prison Planet. That sort of nails it.
That's it. Jesus, you're right. Look at that.
And InfoWars.
Oh, he's right about that too. He nailed it. I don't know. He nailed it a long time ago. And
I mean, he's a shouty man, but I can't really stand listening for longer than if. I don't agree with his extreme level, but he's turning it into an entertainment format, and as such, he's achieved that. But
yeah, he's got his personality, and he says he wishes he didn't have it, but that's what he has, and he's doing the best he has with what he's got. So,
man, but Prison Planet being might not be any bars, but try and do something wrong. Inverted commas around the wrong, of course.
Yes, that's right. We need inverted commas because pretty soon everything is going to be wrong. You don't wear a mask, you're wrong. You wear a mask, you're wrong. Everything's wrong. And so maybe this whole COVID-19 thing is a way to link it together with the prison industrial complex. And, hey, Father, no. Big Brother loves you. Okay, what do you mean by that? I know he does. Big Brother loves you. And what else can you do? I think we're social distancing. I'm at least an arm's length away from every human being. So, there we go. This is what we need. We need social distancing.
And they can maintain. Well, they've even. If you think of problem, reaction, solution, right? The Hegelian dialectic, I think, is the posh term. They've given us a problem, COVID. Everybody's reacting, and suddenly there's a solution of all these softwares that you can use to talk to people without being in the same room.
Yeah, no.
Ain't that amazing?
Well, I think that the solution, and I've said this before, has to be a beneficial thing for a lot of people. So it's not just one group. So don't try to think that it's just this group or just that group. It's the solution will then stimulate the problem and reaction if that solution is going to benefit a whole lot of people. So at least some people are on board. It doesn't matter whether it's really a solution. Yeah. It's just as long as people benefit from it, it'll happen.
Well, the big problem has been generated. All this Black Lives Matter thing. The scariest part is the reaction of the real underground, gun-toting super right-wing idiots who believe in all sorts of nasty stuff. And when that reaction comes, good grief.
Yep. No, there's your divide and conquer right there. They wanted to do it. They wanted to play this card. And, okay.
And while we're looking at that, where are we supposed to be looking? Where should we be looking?
Well,
to China?
Yeah, no. See, I think it's bigger than this.
Where should we be looking?
Well, I'm
the Georgia Guidestones?
Yes.
The farms that are failing their crop yield?
No. That's just temporary. That's just
the oil fields?
No.
I don't know. Where should we be looking?
You should be looking at where they don't want you to look and haven't wanted you to look. They haven't wanted you to look at modern science, so they've just abandoned it. They've abandoned it.
Well, there's no such thing as science. Like you said before, statistics. Well, 99% of the bridge is built, yes, but it's 20 miles long, so 1% missing means we all go in the drink.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. That's right. Oh, my God. What a great example.
Well, 99% of the engine's working, yes, but the one part that's missing, the plugs, doesn't work, so we can't get the crops in. Oh, bloody idiots!
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you demand modern science? After all, it's given us all of this. And my fear is that. Okay, they're changing modern science. They're abandoning it here. They're abandoning it there. And because of that, eventually modern systems will cease to work. And this includes electricity. And that will mean computers. And so if you think that computers, in some type of transhumanist paradise, that the computers will run things, well, no, that's going to fail. We're going to be sent back into the Stone Ages. That's what I'm thinking.
Yep, we're already there.
We're getting there. So my internet, by the way, yesterday was shut off due to unscheduled maintenance. So for some short amount of time yesterday, relatively short, this whole neck of the woods was off of the grid. And, it felt somehow better. Things seem normal, but I'm glad it's
we've
back
had
on.
We've got about a dozen fans around here, all messing with the open reach cabling. I don't know if they put in listening devices. They might as well. They won't want to listen to what's going on in my brain.
Now, Pocket Aces, I don't know what the hell you're saying. Claire's the internet, but Claire's got a fucking knife on Trav in the basement or something like that. My God, how does Claire do it? Claire's everywhere.
We have lots of open reach. Open reach is British Telecom. And the vans are everywhere, putting in the fibre cable.
Nice one, Pocket Aces. Yes, but I hear that the British abandoned knives in London. They've got to walk around now with spoons and forks. Fox. How do you pronounce fork in British?
Don't go to London, it's dangerous. In the 70s it was bombs, don't leave a bag.
Yeah, don't leave a bag.
Cars are dangerous, bags are dangerous, knives are dangerous.
Father, no, that's fucking sick. Oh my God.
What's that?
Father No said, as long as I have interracial midget granny clown porn, I know Big Brother loves me. Oh my God. Well, you can get it on Pornhub. You can get anything you want on Pornhub. Go to Pornhub now. Anyway, I'm going to throw something up. Maybe somebody can help me. Um, I think there's a new service or something called Chatter. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. Chatterbation. So I just put it up in the chat. Does anyone know about?
Chatterbait.
Yeah, Chatterbation. And I went to just stumbled across a couple of websites of young men, and they're talking about this. You go there, and there's waifus and shit. It seems great. If this is what young men are doing, young men want to make a connection, and they want to make a connection with a human form, and they do that in the form of a waifu, an anime creature, and they adopt that as like a totem of their connection to love in this way. And Chatterbation is a service that young men can go to, and obviously it is how it sounds. I've not been there, so I don't know where it is, but if anyone knows about it, again, whatever young men do to manage the evolutionary and biological history that's been passed down to them, good on you. And just stay away from the government, and stay away from the women who are the gateway to the government. And, try to understand that ultimately you are being driven, just like cattle, to do things, and there is a way to rise above it, although different men have different ways of dealing with it. So that's, I think it's going to be good. So,
Excuse me. Just
yeah,
a bit of COVID.
Yeah, are you gonna jump in, Johnny? Let me just read that now. I read that now, and I'll send an invite out. Hold it. Are you in, Monk Music?
Yes, I'm here.
I don't see your avatar or you in this, so I don't.
Well, I'm sitting in the dark.
Oh, that may be it. It's fine. Yeah, we'll bring Johnny in. I'll send an invite out, Johnny.
I can turn my camera off. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. What?
How's that?
Monk has COVID. You got COVID, MM. You got to tell us. We got to put on your masks. Okay, everyone, put on the masks. God.
COVID-19.
Yeah, COVID-19.
Wait till COVID-20, the return of the COVID. COVID-19 sounds like a punk band.
Yeah, sure, Johnny. Yeah.
In years to come, they'll say, well, what happened to the other 18?
Yeah, exactly. What happened to 118? COVID 2020. Yeah. 2021. I don't know. Is this going to be a long-term thing? Maybe this is a way to control people. It's a way to put people in jail.
Bullshit.
And, it's a way to make people forget that they need evidence. All they need to do is listen to the TV.
Well, in Britain, we've had enough. We got one hot day, everybody hit the beach.
Yeah, get out. Just demand we return to sanity. Demand we return to modern science. And get these epidemiologists to just screw off with their statistics. First, you establish it, then you use the statistics, and that can be a guide. But they're trying to establish reality on the basis of reports. You can't do that. You have to establish reality on the basis of the world. This is modern science. So.
Yes, science is observation, not bloody hunting.
Yeah, you got to experiment. Actually, it's even more than observation. You got to experiment on the world.
Well, yeah, observe the results of your experiment. Pardon me, you're right.
That's it. You observe the results of the experiment, and you write those down, and then somebody else has to be able to reproduce them. And then you got to be able to falsify that to make sure that you're not getting crazy results. You've got to have it that you can make that result false. Yeah.
I wonder what James Randi would think. Is he still alive?
Who's that? James Randi?
Yeah.
Who's he?
I was surprised I'd never heard of James Randi. It was the guy who debunked that Israeli fellow with the spoon bending.
Oh yeah, no.
Uri Geller.
Actually, I'm back on the spoon bending thing. I figured out how it can happen. You have to realize that there is no spoon. Then you can bend it. But you also have to make everyone else who's ever had information about that spoon to believe that they have no information about that spoon. Then you believe that there is no spoon, then you can bend it.
Well, Uri Geller.
But, you know,
that gets if Uri Geller had really been real, he'd have had a terrible teenager years, wouldn't he?
See, now that's the easy way to do it. In the world, you got a spoon, you got a hammer, you can bend the spoon. Oh, no worries. Even one of those really thick spoons. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yep. Forrest J. Burns, that's it, right there. Mathematical modeling into a joke. You know, there is a place for mathematical modeling, definitely. There is a place. But they are destroying modern science. You know, you can do
mathematics science, statistics isn't.
No, it's statistics. And
dress it up like it is.
And we've had statistics and mathematics for thousands of years. But modernity, modern science, began in the 1500s. You know, there's predecessors, of course, but with Francis Bacon and his Novum Organum, he established the scientific method. René Descartes took this, expanded it with a method, gave us analytic geometry, a graph, the Cartesian coordinates, and we've been running full speed ahead, and we've got great things out of this. This method of thinking about the world has been massively effective, and you know, mathematical modeling has helped, but it's as a tool. It's not. You can't replace it. You cannot replace modern science with mathematical modeling. No. And, you know, there's many other types of sciences. There's Aristotelian science, Islamic science, medieval science. There's a whole bunch of different sciences. Astrology is a science. Numerology, gematria. These are all sciences, a systematic approach to knowledge. But none of them give us the certainty that we get from modern science, from the scientific method. This has been the great benefit over the last 400 or 500 years in terms of humans controlling the world. And I think that's what they don't want. They don't want humans to gain certain bits of information about this world. It's too dangerous for humans. They're going to send us back to the Middle Ages. And Johnny's probably aware that the Gnostics were privy to some of this. There's allies of humans and those who are against humans getting this knowledge. Are we ready? Apparently not, because they can play us. Somebody can play humans. They can put humans against each other, and they can make people think of dividing rather than uniting. And as long as we're divided against each other, we cannot unite to overcome the force that's against us. And I'm just going to put out there that the recent attempt by Donald Trump to establish a space force, which is uniting all information, and then recently last week with the Senate committee suggesting that they are going to be transparent, at least more so, on information they release to the public about these things. This may be a troubling development for a lot of people. And these people are known for their esoteric awareness or suspected esoteric awareness. So yeah, the Georgia Guidestones, I believe, are something important. I believe that modern science is something important. And I believe that certain features of destroying the swamp, draining the swamp, and releasing information about an experiential topology that's gone back 6,000 years. This is a threat. And ultimately, metaphysicians have been dissuaded professionally from talking about what gives rise to any of this, that this is not a question that people should be talking about. And it was quite difficult in the philosophy department to get into this type of subject. But it is discussed, and nobody really wants to discuss it. Except here on this channel occasionally. And Johnny Midnight likes to discuss that, and others. Yeah. Lawson's Rising. Don't know them, Pocket Aces. Tradcons? No. They're finished. And they know they are.
If you want to see a channel that's quite fun and pokes fun at the present day situation, go on to Salty Cracker. He's quite funny. They'll take him down sooner or later because he's getting traction.
Okay, there you go.
The Salty Cracker is very funny. He's taking the piss big time. So anyway, just saying.
Salty Cracker. Yeah.
Salty Cracker.
No, there's a lot of things happening, and a lot of people are benefiting from going in one direction or another direction. And in all of this MGTOW thread, I'm hoping that the men will still be here who know that, okay, they're messing with us. We don't know how they're messing with us. We don't know who's messing with us. But somebody's messing with us. They're hurting humans, and that means they're hurting men. Because women will go where men are because, men do the work. And so they're hurting men. H-E-R-D. Not H-U-R-T, but H-E-R-D. And by hurting, I guess they're hurting. So this is what men have to be aware of. Bah. Bah. So, yes, they have a virtuoso skill level. But MGTOW is waking men up, getting them out of the worst of it. There is a minefield out there. And the more men who were destroyed on that minefield is the more men who are not able to think clearly about what's going on. And I believe we are seeing mass destabilization on across the West and indeed the world. That somebody was making a play, and that man may have been Donald Trump, and they're going to take him down by any way possible. So maybe they tried to kill him, maybe they haven't. I don't know. I heard they have, but they've done everything else. Russia gate hoax, impeachment gate hoax, COVID-19 hoax, and now racial division, extremism hoax. And they've used all the tools. They're even they're freaking out the police because the police are being told that they've been bad, and they know that they've been bad. They're part of the prison industrial complex, so of course they're bad. People on the right have said
the police.
Yeah.
There's video of, pardon me. There's video of police joining with armed militia.
Well, apparently this is recent, but they've always been, or not always, but they have been involved with the militia from a long time ago in America. But in other countries...
Well, I saw a video of these armed fellas, black, white, you name it, armed to the teeth, and the police shaking hands with them going, well, as long as you deal with people in a decent manner, it's not an issue, perfectly legal.
Yep.
And the cops are glad to have the support.
Well, they
that
should
was on
be.
Steve Turley's channel.
Yeah.
Anybody watch Steve Turley?
I know Steve Turley. He's a bit
great
shouty
guitar
now.
player, but yeah.
He at one point, was more academically minded, and I enjoyed him then. And there is a movement on. They've attacked. He's an anti-globalist, and he's got a good way of analyzing the situation from his academic reading. And again, there's I guess he's a good guitarist. That's his instrument. He studied it. He's a doctor, but I think he's a doctor in music, right? Music performance or
That's
something.
right.
So, but he's a smart
Classical
man.
guitarist.
Yeah. But ultimately, there's uncertainty in many areas, and somebody's playing this and driving men into little nooks and crannies here on the internet, and I think we're better this way. We're better this way. What you don't want to do is put a target on your head. Do not put a target on your head. That may come soon enough, but for now, build up your strength, build up your connections, build up your power, and you can get whatever you want. It's at this point, if you're making 5-year plans, do not invest a lot in 5-year plans. 10-year plans, less so. Maybe 20-year plans, there might be something, but we've got to see through the next couple of years. And the way it's going currently, we'll find out in this next American election what's going to happen. Because if they go down a bad path, they're going to suck the world down with it.
Well, there's a huge movement to get rid of the electoral college at the moment.
Yeah. We have a similar system in Canada where it's not the total vote that determines who's the prime minister. Indeed, we've got a couple of levels. It's the party that votes on the prime minister, who's the leader of the party. But it's each riding decides upon its member, and some members win by a landslide, and others are very close. So the popular vote and who gets elected don't always merge, and it can be divided on a region by region basis or on another basis across the country. So this is the Canadian system's obviously just in terms of that democratic process, it's one way and it's not the best. However, parliamentary democracy, if you check, the members of parliament do not represent human beings. They represent geographical territories, much like dioceses or something in the Catholic Church. And so they're not required to vote the way that the people want them to vote. So they do not represent people. They represent geographical, physical territories. And so parliamentary democracy, for this reason, is really not very democratic. So Americans on the other hand, I believe that the members of Congress actually represent human beings, like people. So it's different down there. But in the other Five Eyes countries, no. It's weird. And so they get away with bloody murder. Because who in the hell they representing, we don't know. Apparently they're representing vested interests, whoever pays them the most. Yeah. Wallace. Oh yeah, that's Bubba Wallace. Oh my God. Yeah. Apparently it was just some guy on his team or something, and then he ran with it. A little bit of hype or something like that. But yeah, people are a little bit testy and a little bit able to be triggered easily. Okay. But you think in this climate you'd be, you double check or triple check or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, some interesting things happened that way in America, trying to both hype up and calm down the race extremism. And again, there's an attack upon modern science. And I think they're gone. I don't hear any modern scientists standing up saying, no, we need modern science. They're cowering.
Well, even Bill Nye, the science guy, is telling us there's more than two genders, for God's sake. Dick.
Is he really? Yeah. Well, he's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
He's not technically a scientist, so.
He's a money grabber, like the rest of them.
Yeah, that's right. So he's, he should shut the fuck up. These people should shut the fuck up. John Money was the guy. He was the academic who was studying hermaphrodites, Hermes Aphrodite. So they're people born with both physical parts and androgynous. And he said, well, they got to make a choice. Well, obviously, yes. They got to make a choice. They've had a genetic mutation. And he said, well, because they make a choice, we all make a choice. So here we have, ultimately, he wants to put the rule to the exception as opposed to having the exception prove the rule. And so this is what he started. And because of the fucked up nature of the genders and the gender war that's been going on my entire life, where boys are told that they're toxically masculine is bad, and girls are told that they want to be boys because the boys do better in these important things, that they think just by calling themselves the other gender that they will be. So we have, again, a confluence of interests of the social pressure to be the other gender, and then John Money's evaluation of exceptions, genetic mutations, and it's all coming together to screw people around. So this is where we are. And now we get what J.K. Rowling said, people are attracted to people of the other gender, the other sex. You mean that's not true? It is true. So they're going to throw her off. There are 666 genders. Yes, that's right. Let's give it a number. Let's go with that number. 666 genders. No more, no less. Yeah.
And they're all racist.
However, I'm surprised, Johnny, that they allowed you to put that comment up here. Are we still being censored? Oh yeah, you're trying it. I love Jesus Christ. There we are. I love Jesus Christ. Da 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 da. And you'll really love Jesus Christ if you read the Pistis Sophia. So go read the Pistis Sophia, and you'll get a whole different view. Well, not whole, actually, just a partial different view. I don't know why that wasn't included in the Bible. It could have been. I think they knew about it back in the Council of Nicaea. Yeah, not everything you type. That made it through, at least to me. So, yeah, but if if you say I love Satan or something like that, that'll make it through. So type that out.
The Council of Nicaea, isn't that where they decided what to put in the Bible?
That's right. So the Council of Nicaea is a
bunch of... They took out about 30 bloody sections.
Oh, yeah, more than that. They had a whole bunch of texts.
And there's 300 years of history missing out of the Bible. It's all right, con.
And some of the churches dissented and left in the Book of Enoch, and some said, no, it's not part of it. So they had disagreements even back then. But
they took all the sex out of it.
Yeah, they did. But, Johnny, for God's sakes, Jesus married a prostitute? Oh, I see. She was cool. Oh, yeah, okay, cool prostitute. But those books, those books did not make it in the Bible. Not included in the Bible. I'm not going to spell Nicaea right. So the books that are not included in the Bible by the Council of Nicaea, they're called the Apocrypha. And some of them are really not good. And they were right not to include them. but others are great. Great. So they should have been included, but they weren't. And, I think that the Book of Enoch is important. I think just like the Georgia Guidestones, modern science, the Book of Enoch is an important book. And so you want to get that. Noah is important. And Abraham definitely is important. Thanks, Johnny. I spelled it correctly. I keep on thinking it's got to be 6 letters. I don't know, but...
That's a eunuch.
So, yeah, and at this point in time, people were struggling with the metaphysical question, and we still are. But I don't think that somebody wants us to struggle with this question. Yeah. The Book of Enoch, Book of Noah, the Giants, definitely, and Jubilees. Ooh, yeah, Jubilees is a great one.
If you retitle the Book of Enoch and Enoch's got 6 letters, that's probably going to be the Book of Eunuch.
Yeah, my God. Yeah.
So,
yeah, do not add a...
I think we're living through now the Book of Eunuch. Cut your balls.
Yeah, that's basically it. This is the Georgia Guidestones. Be so confused in the Tower of Babel as to, who you are and what you are that you just can't talk to other people in any way, linguistically or otherwise. But the Book of Mormon, you read, the front piece of the Book of Mormon with the statement of those, what are they, 13 or 12 or 14 people who will testify that Joseph Smith got this tablet. This is very strange. So
yeah, especially for a man who was put in prison for being a con artist.
I'm not sure about that. I'd never heard that until recently, and I haven't been able to verify it. So.
All right. Okay. Well, pardon me. Blame YouTube.
Maybe so.
But linguistic experts have pored over the original manuscripts, and they go, "Well, he just peppered it with thee and thou for no particular reason."
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what text they're talking about, because he had this, whatever it was, this tablet, and he had these stones, and he wrote down. It was like out of his head. So if he wanted to write down anything, who in the hell would know? Because the tablets are gone. So there's no original source on what he wrote down. So.
All right. Okay.
So basically, whatever he says goes. But there's that, testimony by 14 people who said, "Yeah, we saw them." Holy shit! I don't know if it's true. I wasn't there. But it wasn't.
I thought it was a book. I thought it was a 5-letter spelling, and they got it wrong. A book of moron.
No, it's what he got on the tablets, and then used a couple of stones in order to decode the tablet. And so there's only his writing. So whatever he said is what he said. And yeah, he put it in terms of what he was used to reading. I think the Bible. He put it in those terms. So.
Wow.
So anyway, there may be some truth in what they say about him or not. I don't know, but it's only recent. So. Hoka talks aliens.
Who knows? You don't know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Well, the reality we can see, but we don't know what the truth is. I don't know. Stay away from women. Don't engage, gentlemen. Don't engage with society. Stay out of the way.
Yeah. Gnostics would study Joseph Smith, and it's a good thing to study. Staying away from women, you got something very interesting to look at, and this is as I say, it's an experiential topology, which includes Joseph Smith and the Mormons going back 6,000 years, multiple locations around the world, multiple civilizations, multiple documents, all pointing to similar things. We've had the Pentagon admit it now. We've had the Russian Air Force, Chilean Air Force, Mexican Air Force all admit it. and this is going back to World War II and even in the Middle Ages. So it's not like it's anything new. So this is a disturbing thing, and it's connected, I believe, with the Georgia Guidestone. So watch out, and hopefully we'll have information surviving. We may be into a cataclysm. There was an unusual magnetic disturbance on June 23rd. If anyone knows about it, please get some information. But given that the sun is extremely quiet, we don't seem to be pulling into a solar maximum, even while we move down in the longer term into a grand solar minimum. In the short term, we're supposed to be moving out of a solar minimum into a solar maximum, and we don't seem to be doing that. And we had this magnetic anomaly on June 23rd. So if anyone knows about that, that would be great. There seems to be a lot of strange things happening with the magnetic field of Earth. The poles shifting.
June 23rd?
Yeah, June 23rd.
What date is it today?
It is the 27th.
4 days ago. Gosh, I was sick on that day. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, it didn't last very long. One's got to say it was a very short little burst of stuff, but let me see if I can put you in terms of a link here. I think I can put a link up. Yeah. And so I checked the site, which is spaceweather.com. I don't normally go to spaceweather.com, but so there's an article there. So no, it was not an entropic burst from the sun. There was nothing happening from the sun at the time. So this appears to be, from the Earth itself, and we had that Mayotte incident. So if anyone's interested, you can look up the Mayotte incident of November, I think it was 2018. So again, that was not a magnetic event; it was a physical event, but it was also unprecedented and worldwide. It was registered worldwide. The magnetic field was registered worldwide. So I think I can put up an image on this.
That's interesting. Is it over now?
Yeah, no, it was a short-lived, very short-lived.
Yeah, because for the last couple of days, I mean, it's pure coincidence, but during the period you were saying, I didn't feel very well and I couldn't really think and study, so sort of stepped away from all the early mornings last couple of days.
So I put up an image on the screen. There's readings in a number of locations. So and I put up another one with the time source here.
Crazy world.
It is a crazy world, and it's not getting any less crazy. So
we had
this is from Lancashire, UK.
Oh, my neck of the woods.
Your neck of the woods. And so it was registered here. So we're looking at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And this would have been on the 23rd, I believe. Cited as the 23rd. So this shouldn't happen, apparently. And so
what was this called?
A magnetic anomaly. Well, it is anomalous.
Well, I know this will sound a bit scary, but it had pretty much exactly just about 5 p.m. the other day. Me and a couple of neighbours were outside, and we heard this enormous bang. enormous boom. It wasn't yesterday. It wasn't every Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
There was this enormous bang, and there's only us heard it. Nobody believes us that we heard this massive bang. It's not even made the paper.
Oh, it
I
did.
wonder if.
A, a, rep-
Sorry?
a report of this made the newspaper.
No, it didn't make the paper. It was an enormous bang. I mean, you've never heard about it. It shook the ground.
Oh.
And I thought everybody'd be out of the houses, but we were outside. I nearly leapt across the road. It was this massive boom. So
Okay.
either it.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I don't want to scare anyone, but you would think that if there was this massive bang, that people would have run out of the houses. They would have heard it, all right? Unless they had the headphones on full volume. People would have run out of the houses. Do you think that people have been taken over by some type of alien, like a virus or something that makes them unable to respond in normal ways?
I believe anything lately.
Ah, okay. Just checking with you. I'll believe anything lately. That's probably a sensible thing to say here. Yeah.
Well, it's entirely possible. I mean, I'm hearing all this stuff. Well, I'm watching people. Well, I don't want to get into the politics bullshit, but yeah, I think a lot of people have been programmed. Funnily enough, I got rid of my television 15 years ago, at least, because I could feel the hypnosis. So I binned it. And I talk to people now, and I think, God, you believe anything, and they vehemently, well, they're nasty if you question them. This is why I don't engage with them anymore.
Yeah, no, apparently people are solidifying in what they've been told by the television and will not have you question the television.
Yep. Although the BBC's getting battered, which is a good thing. The British Broadcasting Communists.
So, back to your massive sound. There have been reports of weird sounds in the sky. Now, I haven't heard any of those, and I haven't heard any big bangs, but I've heard of that too. I'm just going to ask.
5 minutes later, a Chinook came flying over at about 50 feet. Scared the living daylights out of me. It could have been a sonic boom.
No, Chinook don't travel fast enough to put out a sonic boom.
No, I'm talking before the Chinook. I mean, those Chinooks, my God, you wouldn't need to have any troops in them. Just fly that over, you scare you to death.
Yeah.
It's a hell of annoying.
They're pretty loud.
God, you're not kidding. They're huge, them things.
But I've heard a sonic boom from like an airplane or something. It happens when they break the sound barrier or something. England's not a big place, and so if there are hypersonic military planes doing tests or something, but it's the first time in your life that you've heard it.
Oh yeah, it shook everything. Bang! My God, I went down the street to beyond the woods to have a look at the motorway to see if there'd been an incident there. There's nothing, no smoke.
Yeah.
No police, because very often if you hear a noise of sort of a screeching, and then 2 minutes later you might hear sirens, but there was none of that.
Yeah.
Just a massive bloody bang. Boom.
Yeah, no, if it was just a sonic boom from an airplane, then probably at this point in your life you would have heard many living in England, because as I say, it's not that big, and technically you only hear it when it goes accelerates past the speed of sound. That's when you hear the boom.
Well, there's no jet sound, so
there's no. Well, you probably would have heard the jet sound then, if it was that loud, right?
And so, I don't know. Like I said, 2 minutes later, the Chinook came ploughing across.
Yeah, well, maybe something happened.
Yeah.
Does anyone in the chat have you heard any of those strange sounds in the sky, or any odd, bangs coming from the ground or somewhere like that? I haven't heard any, but I'd be interested. Some of it's pretty weird. You hear it, but it's one thing to hear it on a video, but it's another thing to hear it in live. Because you can manipulate videos, right? You can put a soundtrack over it. It's too easy. So if
deep
yeah. So oddly, I'm a synthesist, and I don't really mean to say oddly, but during Halloween, I used to take my synthesizer, and I could make very, very strange sounds on it. It was a great synth, a Korg wave station. And I put my speaker out the window, and I'd play the Halloween track, and it would sound weird, but it wouldn't carry very far, right? By the end of the street or something, a couple 100 meters, it wouldn't really sound like much. So, and we're getting good advice here in the chat. You want to eat curry for good health and drink 100 proof liquor every day, and you'll ward off the COVID-19. I like that. Oh yeah, Khalil, that's great. Government of Wales send you $10,000 a month. Yep. Yeah, there's sweet people there in the Government of Wales, I hear. Yeah, sweet people. Yeah. Yes, Forrest J. Burns. Where are the Three Stooges when we need them? Let's just let the clowns take over, because they basically have anyway. We have a question. Does curry cure COVID-19? Yes, it does. I'm going to testify to that. Curry cures just about everything. There we go.
What's that? Cures?
Cures it, yeah, curry. So,
curry?
Yeah, wake up for breakfast and go down to the curry shop, man.
Yeah, black seed oil fixes everything.
Yeah, black seed oil, curry, alcohol, sun, nature. Yeah, the good things in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still not a woman.
Well, my God, you don't want to be doing that. It's unbelievable what's happening. Did you hear about the... there's a courageous young man out there. He's standing up and he's suing Twitch for $25 million because of the e-thoughts on Twitch.
Oh, by the way, talking of being sued, sorry to interrupt, Values.
Yeah.
You know that Covington High School kid with the hat on who got attacked by that?
Yeah.
They settled in court with CNN. First settlement, $275 million.
What? They settled?
CNN had to pay $275 million to that kid.
Whoa!
Fucking marvelous. And that's the first settlement. Now he's got the cash to take them all to the cleaners.
Yeah, my God.
He can sue the ass off everybody who defamed him. I think it's just so good it has to be fattening.
I don't see the number here. I I see something for January that they settled in January. Like that's 6 months ago.
It was on several channels the other day that they settled for $275. CNN.
Let me.
I don't know if it's like I said, it's internet, and it might turn out to be 275 cents. I don't know, but
Let me see if I put this in here whether I get anything. Oh yeah, no, I'm getting it. Oh no, it was a $275 million lawsuit that he was suing them for. What they settled for, I don't know.
Oh right, I thought they'd settled for 275.
No, he sought that. I don't know what they settled for. I can't find.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well, I'm tired and British. What can you do?
Yeah. You can ask.
Pardon me for giving you false information. God, I hate people who do that. Sorry.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, you want get your facts straight.
You want to check it out, but the way they write it, it can be tricky. The way they write it.
Yeah.
They settle a $275 million lawsuit. Well, that tells me they settled for 275 million. If it's not, they should fix the English. They don't. They're bastards. Yeah, they're destroying the language. The headlines are destroying language because there's no grammar in headlines, right? But
my thoughts on that. Attack the language.
Yeah,
that's the root of everything.
And the yellow journalism, we're into that, and
yellow journalists.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. It's when you badly misalign the truth in order to sell newspapers. Or not misalign, malign.
Oh, I see. Ask a question. Is this the solution to cancer?
Yeah.
And then they read it and it's not.
Yeah. Clickbait.
Yeah.
And worse. Right? So it's that and worse.
Well, the worst one for that was the Sun in the 80s, with the sinking of the General Belgrano, and 350 lives lost, young men, Argentinian, and the headline in the Sun was "Gotcha."
Oh yeah.
Disgusting.
And what did they write when the Exocet missile hit the the British vessel? In the same conflict.
It's the Galahad.
Yeah. So, and the French were unrepentant. I think the French lost something there. Really. They were selling Exocet missiles to Argentina in the middle of a war where a NATO member, was fighting a war to prevent someone from taking over a territory.
Yep, well. What was the other headline by stick it up your junta.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was
we have a thing called umpire, stick it up your jumper.
Oh, I see, yeah. Well, Argentina...
No, stick it up your junta, so the rest of the world probably thought it was rude.
Yeah, well, it was rude. Wars, the least we can say about war is it's rude.
Yes, it wasn't very polite. It was definitely up there with a couple of smack bottoms.
Yeah, well, when boats are being blown up and men are being disposed of.
Yep.
All over this claim that has nothing really to do with anything, and maybe oil, but the claim of Argentina is not that strong, I have to say. But the claim of France on Saint Pierre and Miquelon, which are 12 miles off of Newfoundland. Oh, that's pretty strong. So.
Well, we've got a bigger army than you have, so we claim this on behalf of the Bully Boys.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's funny, Forrest J. Burns. Funny that the Chinese national TV is actually called CCTV.
The Chinese have got a problem with their army,
Oh, what's the problem?
Well, they apparently, and like I said, I can't really back up my source, but apparently because of the one-child policy from 1979, the army is full of Mardy-arse little emperors, I think we called them. So they might be big in number, but they're not big in heart. They're a bunch of soft bastards, by all accounts, who want to go home to mummy.
Ah.
So and that's as they were actually described by their own generals as wimps.
Jesus. Well.
So there might be a lot of them, but they're just, mardy asses.
I don't know how much, they have conviction for the Communist Party of China. Who in the hell?
No, they have none.
These people are not.
Somebody makes a bad smell. They'll all fuck off.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I mean, the only reality you've got is at the end of your arm.
That's right.
This what you're hearing right now and seeing and sensing is the only reality you've got, and even then, you've only got limited capabilities and frequencies.
Yep. So, watch how you make your decisions. Don't make your decisions rashly. Don't make your decisions if you're going to, you know, sacrifice something. Do not do that on a whim. Do not do it.
And lift mental weights that get gradually heavier so that you beat procrastination. Made it my mission over the last, well, let's say, since going MGTOW day by day, I smash procrastination. Started with 2 minutes, and life just gets better once you start timing everything. Give it 2 minutes. There's a reason behind it. If you give it, say, 2 minutes, 30 seconds to do a job, and you achieve something, you've completed something, and that's how men's psyche works. We complete things, make things. So as you build up the ability to extend a period of attainment doing something, your level of satisfaction goes up. Now, I've observed this in many people, as you know, because of my job, and as you can get. I took a group of people one time from the attention span of 2 minutes up to 20 minutes of being able to stick at a job and complete. What do you think their psychological state was like after 10 weeks of that? Incredible.
Yep.
Incredible. So, gentlemen, if you're listening, if you're feeling that you're in a mess, pick the smallest thing you can achieve. Set the clock off. Go at it. You don't have to finish. You just have to complete the 2 minutes. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I've said many times that your brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. So you have to build up strength, just like going to the gym. And it will respond.
It does. And it does. It's amazing. It's absolutely. But this year has been because with a lockdown, I set my stall out to retrain, to smash all sorts of stuff, and I've done it. But I had to start real small because I realised, one, I'm older, so my thinking meat's getting a bit worn out. And but I did it. Well, we've discussed all the way through it, haven't we? This. So if you're right there, Jed.
You were right the first time. Worn.
What's that?
It should be getting worn out.
Yeah.
So you're getting taken. So you got to use a verb 3. Getting worn out. How's that for grammar Nazi at what, 3:00 in the morning?
So you keep bouncing in and out on the Hangouts. I'm sorry if my.
Oh God, no, sorry. That's the friggin' Hangouts. I don't think I'm bouncing in and out in the chat. It's just in the friggin' Hangouts.
In fact, because of this, I actually rang up my internet provider, and to see if there's anything could be done, and they said, "Well, excuse me." He says, "Well, I'm getting 7.5 meg per second upload, so I should be sending out fine." So.
Yeah.
I think it's because we've said the wrong thing. We're suffering from wrong things, so we've probably been monitored.
Oh yes, we're definitely being monitored.
You're listening, if you're listening, GCXQ, just drop dead.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah. Google, we know you're listening. Fuck off. Anyway,
not interested.
Aaron Rubin, I think you're correct. Monk Music is, I think, talking from his bed. It's like 3:00 in the morning for him, maybe 4.
Oh yeah, I'm in bed. I'm really tired.
Yeah, but he's doing great. He's doing great.
Pardon me. Well, I woke up. I just wanted to join in with general hilarity because I can't. I mean, with the best will in the world, I mean, I've red pilled the shit out of one of my neighbours, but I'm a neighbour at the end. He's pretty switched on to it all, but he rings me up and says, "God sake, don't watch the news for God, don't
Yeah.
think of it, and a flat line, everything. You go, oh my God, even on eBay, the first thing that comes up is a football shirt with a black guy wearing it, and across the shoulder it says Black Lives Matter. Join with eBay to blood. Oh, fuck off.
Yep.
Please. Of course, Black Lives Matter. I was more concerned about it than the people who are making a fuss about it are now.
Yep.
With all the syphilis.
You
They're
know,
not outraged about the syphilis experiment, are they? And
no,
the
and they
bloody.
should be. 'Cause,
And that's way worse. The
yeah,
black guys have been having it stuck to them for years. And now, because it's trendy.
it's trendy.
Oh my God.
And
It's terrible.
but see, I think they want to forget the history of the do-goodery when they destroyed the black family by giving them welfare, right? As long as the
Yeah.
black man left the house, the government would pay that black woman more than the black guy could earn. Yeah, okay. There, we can destroy.
Terrible.
We can destroy the
They
family.
would, they would just give you this injection. What is it? Oh, well, it's good for you. Oh, I've got syphilis. Oh, nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know?
Pocket aces. I don't know. How do I drop a link to the Hangouts?
For the hangout.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think you can invite people by their email and say add somebody to the thing.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to do it.
Add.
If you want to get on, send me an email at my Gmail address. That's maketalvalues@gmail.com. And then I can send you an email invite. I think that's the way I have to do it.
I should go to the bridge. I'm halfway through. That book will arrive soon with a bit of luck. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Of course they bloody matter. And there's a way of looking at it, like you say, that if they don't take the Black Lives Matter, and I mean the proper Black Lives Matter, not the social justice warrior version. I mean the real version, you know? If they don't take that seriously, then who's next? It's not this police thing, that's just nonsense. Statistics I don't mind statistics.
Yeah, well, statistics is destroying modern science, and BLM and Antifa are both reportedly Marxists, so they're trying to, destroy any type of community solidarity and prosperity. So this is, they just want absolute massive destruction. And okay,
Well, I don't get it. I don't understand it, because at risk of sounding patronising, most of the avatars that I grew up admiring were black. Clive Lloyd, Vivian Richards, B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Left-Handed Frank. Last I looked, they were all black.
yeah.
Farouk Engineer, Kapil Det. Well, these are Asian dudes. They're all. It never. I don't know. Clive Lloyd, by the way, was a West Indian cricketer. So is Viv Richards.
Oh, I see. I don't know the names at all.
Well, you won't know cricketers, but these were real heroes.
Yeah. Well.
And so it is. I don't get it. And they were national heroes as well, by the way. They weren't just like my heroes. They were national heroes in this country, in this county. Clive Lloyd was the captain of Lancashire.
Ah.
right? And Vivian Richards played cricket for Kent, and these were top people at the top of their field. And yeah, they struggled. Of course they did. Everybody bloody did. Nobody mentioned. But that's not the point. They didn't come up with all this social justice crap. They just got on with it. By the way, did you see the interview with what's his name? That funny fella. Mark Dice interviewed Larry Elder.
No, I didn't
Did you
see it.
see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Larry Elder, what a guy. I knew he was great, but God, he's brilliant, that fella.
Who is he?
Larry Elder, well, he's a black philosopher.
Never
And
heard
he's
of
a
him.
top dude. Oh, well, he's worth looking into. He's sort of a latter-day Martin Luther King.
Oh, I see.
He's a great fella. 70 years. Mark Dice interviewed him the other day, and he talks a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope. What's his name again?
Larry Elder.
Larry.
Larry Elder. Elder.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
a sort of bloke you want to have a beer with, you know.
Yeah, he's libertarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he speaks beautifully. Beautifully. Yeah. And you think, what a guy.
Yeah.
And then you hear these, I don't know.
Well, he was a radio talk show host.
So, he was what?
A radio talk radio
was
host.
He all right?
I
don't know, but...
And an attorney. So,
well, he's clearly mega intelligent, but...
yeah.
It just... I don't know.
Yeah.
I think basically there's all this social justice warrior. I think in the end they're just low intelligent people. I don't think
they don't
do.
Yeah, they don't.
They're just fucking thick. You know, it's not universities to do with it. It's the intelligence bar.
Yeah. If they were really, intelligent, they'd go back to the root causes of all this mess. And I think libertarians have been pointing to this since the beginning, at least since 1980, because I was talking about these problems in 1980, and incarcerating men for no crime, smoking pot. Now it's legal in Canada. This is just stupidity, and I think they left it too long.
Yes.
They destroyed the cohesion of the community. They weaponized women against men. They destroyed the economy. Good going.
Yep.
What's left is down the toilet.
Well, I agree entirely. You should question everything, not to be a bolshy bastard, but to establish a point and clarity. The point of questioning now, if you question any order at all, a proud nail gets hammered down. I remember at work, this is in my mid-20s, asking the leadership a certain question. I'll have to tell you about it later because it's a long story, but it's great.
Okay.
And I put them on I absolutely cut through the crap by one simple... Basically, there were two centres running exactly the same timetable and structure, okay? And we looked at one reporting system, and they looked at a record of achievement system. And I said, right, so we're taking on their reporting system, and the bosses said yes, because it fits perfectly our scenario. I said, and it's been tested? Yes, every aspect of it's been tested. I said, okay then, so why are you suggesting that we trial it? Silence.
Yeah.
Why can't we just install it? If everything is identical in their regime, personnel, structure, the shape of the building, everything, why can't we just put it in? You're asking us to duplicate work with something that's already been 100% tested.
Well, that's because he lied and it wasn't 100% tested.
Yeah, well, I'll just expose them, metal knobs. Been doing it all my career. Fuck them.
Yeah, well, we're into the dumbing down of America. It's the dumbing down of the West, and now we see the result of that. They've forgotten history. They've forgotten that men do the work. I think that's the main thing they've forgotten. Women have migrated to the human resources departments because that's the only place where they can sit around and talk all day. And,
do you know it's funny? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
I beg your pardon.
Huh. I don't know what's going on in the chat.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was waiting for you to speak and interrupted you. Pardon me.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I was just saying that, they've forgotten the history. They've forgotten the history of what started this disaster with black people. Okay, maybe they thought they were trying to do good after the definitely the bad time in the post-Civil War America. Okay, but there was a different psyche back then. People were different. They thought different.
Sorry. The thing with the Black Lives Matter, Black Lives of course matter hugely, but for way different reasons. For massively different reasons. Way more important reasons. Are Black Lives important? And of course they bloody matter.
Yeah, all lives are important.
But they've got where they're looking to get the basis for their argument is the wrong place, in my humble opinion.
Well, I think it's the wrong place. I think ultimately we don't have to listen to these people. Apparently they threw out one of the main leaders, as such, in a distributed system, the guy from New York. He threatened that if they don't get what they want, they're going to burn the place down. Okay.
Wow.
And then they said,
what do they want?
He's not affiliated with the main body. Who's this main body? Somebody's trying to take it over. And apparently it's George Soros' money trying to take it over. And so...
George Soros, he's a wrong one.
Yeah, it's not him maybe. He's getting old, but it's his money and it's his vision. And his vision is to forget history because we know what he did in his history, at least what he told in an interview on 60 Minutes, that he used to go around house to house and turn the Jews over to the Nazis. And he was a Jew. And then the Nazis would take him and he'd go in and steal the shit. Or maybe he didn't steal it directly, but he got it indirectly. So he's a piece of work. That guy has such deep psychological pain that he wants to inflict it on everyone else that he can possibly inflict it on.
But he's got some missing artworks.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But he's got all that missing art. He's an ugly bastard anyway. Fuck him.
Automated store with robots and food lockers. This is the future, is it? No humans. No humans. No humans for you. Yeah.
The Sex Pistols.
Yeah. Yeah. Who needs a future if you don't have any humans? Yeah. And eventually the robots will stop working and I don't think it's sustainable. Electricity goes off, they're fucked. Or maybe they'll do direct-to-universe electricity. I guess they're doing that now.
Well, who knows? Even those scooters will do 30 miles an hour. Battery-powered scooters.
Yeah, my God, look at that.
I'll tell you what. Did I tell you our dealings with Silicon Valley?
Oh, no. How did it go?
No, very, very... we're talking a tendril of a tendril of a tendril of a tendril. But I showed you when we were on a private chat what they were coming up with in SAS.
Oh.
You remember?
SAS.
Yeah, I showed you that heading.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't
Get
remember.
out on the Get out on the streets and show your support. Do you
Oh yeah,
remember?
yeah, those guys. Yeah, get out on the streets.
You know,
Yep.
unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
No, this is the young people. They think they're involved in changing the world, and maybe they are. But do they know what happened in the
Right.
1960s? They were out on the streets then too. Don't you remember? And look what
Yeah,
happened. They destroyed the black family, put the black men out on the street so they could smoke dope and then go to jail and then come out and do worse things and back and forth for 30 years. And now you're out on the street again. Don't you see? This is what caused the problem in the first place. You're stupid.
well,
And we can
yeah.
we can blame some of this on Chief Justice of the Supreme
Well,
Court Taney and those bunch of idiots who said that no, it's good if as long as the people aren't citizens, you can make them slaves. Here's a
it,
man throwing other men under the bus, and this is the Chief
this,
Justice of the Supreme Court.
oh well, there you go.
So it's not like these are stupid people making stupid decisions. These are supposedly smart people making impossibly stupid decisions, and the Supreme Court hasn't changed. They haven't said, yeah, that man is stupid, and so maybe I am too. So maybe I should be very careful when I say we should do violence on other people, but they're not. They're arrogant sons of bitches. And maybe they don't like the way I talk. Well, you're an arrogant sons of bitch. That, what did you do? What did Taney do? What did John Marshall, Chief Justice John Marshall, do? You guys are a bunch of idiots. So shut the fuck up. Stop making your violent decisions. Get rid of the violence. You're a vicious, violent machine. And now the people are out in the streets saying we want more vicious violence. Good going. Good going. Here's the system. So men, be careful. It seems as though everything wants to be destroyed by these people. It's time to destroy it all. Somebody wants to hide something. It's time to hide it. So destroy it and it'll come back next time. Maybe better. Who knows?
I know. I'm going underground.
Yeah. Yep.
I think now's the time to stash food, by the way.
Yeah, and as Aaron Rubin says, stash it from the obese black women.
Obese women, you got to get yourself one of those. You can melt her down. You can live off her for weeks.
Oh man.
Got everything you need.
Oh man, that's hardcore, man.
I'm not starving, and they can't get away because they can't move.
Yeah, that's right. So it's easy
Actually, do you know what?
It's easy
You wouldn't
to melt
want to
them
eat
down.
a fat one.
Oh, you wouldn't want to?
No,
Why not?
No. You use them as candles, but well, the thing is, fat women, toxins are stored in fat in your body, and to detoxify, you got to get rid of the fat.
Hold it. Hold it. Mic
What?
drop. You just did it. The reason why Black Lives Matter is so toxic is because of all the toxicity and all the fat women that belong to that. Oh,
Yeah, of course. Well, toxicity. There's got to be poisons accumulate in the fat cells because when your body's got something it doesn't know how to deal with, it chucks it all towards the fat.
Yeah.
And it's one of the protective mechanisms now. So these women literally are toxic.
There you go.
Yeah, fat bastards, yeah. Fat fuckers. Can't stand them.
Yep. I
don't think anybody's noticed.
I think I'm going to edit that picture of those. I think they're 12 fat nurses. I'm going to edit that picture. Add that little caption. The body stores fat. Sorry, the body stores toxins in fat. Toxic.
In the fat cells.
Yeah.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
And that's why when you start losing weight, you can get toxicity and inflammation. So you've got to be careful. You've got to do the vitamin B3 and I think it's, what do you call it? Activated charcoal.
Yeah.
If you don't store a lot of fat, obviously you're not going to reroute too many toxic, but it's worth a Google, gentlemen. Just have a look it up. Where does toxicity reside? It's in the fat. It's in the fat cell.
Yeah. Hey, their way. There's a real thing. That's the way. That's what I wanted to say.
The dog chorus has just started. It's beautiful. You know, the bird's tweeting.
No, it's a MGTOW road manual. It's got to be capitalized. Road manual. That sounds great as a book. The MGTOW road manual.
Road?
Road. You know, like you're traveling, right, on a road.
Yeah.
Because that's what men do. They're born and they travel on a road and then they die. This is life. And you need a road manual. And MGTOW is that road manual. Yeah.
What's the quote? The path less trod.
Yeah, the path less traveled, or the road less traveled, or you can use
the quote?
Those fancy English words. Yeah, take the path less traveled. Yeah. Well, Johnny Midnight, if Pocket Aces has a book, put it out there. Email me the book. I'd love to read it. Yeah. Yep. I like that, Bad Max. Turn the power off for 3 weeks, and those of us left can have a conversation. Yeah. Yeah, do it, Pocket Aces. Yeah, send me some stuff. I'll direct it and send it back, and you can fix it, and back and forth. A road manual. Yeah, you start with birth. The first thing to do is don't cut off his fucking genitals. There. And if you do, well, you can probably make it through life okay anyway. But it's just better not to. And so on and so on and so on. Yeah. Pocket Aces. Yeah, maybe the title needed to be, reworked a little bit. Yeah, a niche market. A niche market, no question. Yes,
sun's coming up. Time is it now?
Well, for me, it's 10 o'clock, heading on to 10 o'clock.
And 2 minutes to 4 in the morning.
2 minutes to 4. That's a good time of day. Sun's just
Salty Crackers released another video.
Ah.
It's Woo-Too Flu, Electric Booger Flu.
Boogaloo Flu.
And it says, Restream. Funny that Salty Cracker. Bit cheeky, but, he's only a young lad. We've got a nice cat. I think he's a bit more of an acerbic. Is it acerbic, the right word? More acerbic version of Sticks Hex and Hammer 666.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Salty Cracker, there's a clue in the name, the salty.
Yeah, acerbic. Yeah.
Is that the right word? I don't know. It sounds good.
Yeah. No, it's sort of cutting edge. Nasty smelling, and a smell that will cut through.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, acerbic was right.
Yeah. Cuts through the noise.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it's a smell. What's the smell? Acrid. Acrid. I acerbic and acrid. I link together. Woof, boogaloo, tutu. Yeah.
Salty Cracker. It's funny.
Yeah, the Boogaloo Boys. Who in the hell is Boogaloo? Yeah. Yep.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. I don't know who the Boogaloo Boys are.
I remember Electric. Sorry.
I'm just looking it up. Never mind.
I remember Electric Blue from the 80s.
Oh my God, it's a real thing.
What's this?
Oh yeah, it didn't come to wide attention until late 2019. It was on a fringe image board on 4chan since 2012.
Oh, by the way, you love this, lads. On 4chan, this
Yeah.
bloke put a hashtag, was it Go Bold for Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, yeah,
And all
yeah.
these women have shaved their heads to show solidarity with the Black Lives
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great.
Matter. You can't. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. My God, I don't know. The Boogaloo Boys is like, it's like a lark, a LARP lark. My God. Yeah.
So all these women have apparently posted it on Twitter. I've shaved my head. It's
Yeah,
the
I
least
shaved
I
my
can
head.
do.
Yeah, yeah, it is the
Yeah,
least you
people
can do.
getting people, some bloke gets a knee in his neck and gets murdered, and she shaves her head. That's going to help a lot, isn't it? Silly bitch.
So apparently the Boogaloo Boys, they wear Hawaiian shirts. Oh my God, there goes that fashion statement. Yeah.
Can you hear those birds in the background?
Yes. Tell them to shut up. It's annoying. Fucking annoying. I hate the birds. Fucking annoying. Anyway, yeah, I started to tell a story about this guy who's suing Twitch for $25 million because of all the e-thoughts. Yoki Main and all the rest of them. He says he's got 750 subs to e-thoughts. That's all he's got sub to. I don't know. But, at least he's doing something, right? Twitch used to be for gamers, and now it's for e-thoughts. And, they do kinky stuff on their channels and stuff. And then they go, hardcore onto the other platform. I don't know the name of it. But,
Apparently OnlyFans... Sorry.
Yeah, what is it?
Apparently OnlyFans are banning nudity.
Oh, see, that was one of them. OnlyFans. They're banning nudity?
I believe so.
They're going to go broke. That's the only reason why they liked it.
I've never even been on the site. I don't want to do with it. I mean, that's where the women hang out. Probably literally.
Yeah.
Showing the coin purse.
Yeah, I don't know about the banning.
I've no idea. The world's gone mad. I mean, it's rumour on top of rumour on top of rumour.
Yeah. Okay. Some Instagram stars have found that OnlyFans offers a valuable alternative to the Facebook-owned platform, which bans nudity. So I guess it's Instagram bans nudity, not OnlyFans. And this was in an article on June 9th. So unless something's changed since June 9th, 2020.
All right, well.
I haven't read anything. That's the most recent article I can find here. So. Hold it. I got one from June 18th. I don't see banning nudity. Yeah. Where's the nudity? Where's the nudity? And this is what was it? The Chatterbation. It was anime waifus, and this guy was talking about whacking off to anime waifus, and says everyone does it, and he was adamant. He had 1 million views on the fucking video, and 1 million subs and stuff. So, there's something going on. Young people are moving very quickly and moving in directions, and they don't need anyone to tell them what to do. So they're going for non-organic women, and he says that the waifus are differently with different personalities, and these personalities appeal to young men, more than the e-thoughts do, and thus he thinks it's going to be a big hit for young men, and maybe it is already. I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy that young men have choices, and that they're safe choices, and this is a good thing. So put the word out. If young men are doing this, it's fine. Do whatever you want to do whatever you have to do. And in men's brains, we know we have programming, sacrificial programming, and programming to a certain form, and that form is of a human woman, and that's somehow genetically ingrained that we respond to it. Otherwise, men would have been fucking sheep. And some men do that, and we can thank Woody Allen and Gene Wilder for that skit. It's not connecting with most men's brains, whereas the waifu anime and the anime waifu are. So this is maybe a passing phase, I don't know, into something new, but whatever it is, it's better than facing a family court judge. Anything's better than facing that, I think, isn't it? You can get what you want, but you don't have to do that. So fuck them, fuck this system. The last thing you want to do when the shit hits the fan, and it's already hit the fan, is be in jail. Although I guess they emptied the jails of a lot of people, so who in the hell knows? Let out the rapists and the assaulters and the robbers, and put in the people who want to walk outside without a mask. Put them in jail now. Yeah. Then they have to wear a mask in jail. Fuck you. The waifu wars? What in the hell's a waifu wars? Well, that's it, Aaron Rubin. That's the OnlyFans. That's their, that's what they rely on. Is men's biological programming. Fuck off. Why should they be benefiting from this? Right?
All we need is a power cut.
A what? Sorry? And this is the problem. So, what the hell does that mean, Johnny? I bought you a Mercedes. Dad? Thanks, Pumpkin. Gross. I don't understand that. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. The whole thing is gross. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see. You have a daughter and she becomes an OnlyFans employee. Sorry, I missed that. I bought you a Mercedes, Dad. Thanks, Pumpkin. That's gross, man. No. Living out the avails of that? No. This is depravity. This is degradation. This is despair. No. This is unhealthy. Thanks, Pumpkin. No. You got to be a psychopath to say that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah. There's sickness in this community. There has been going back through time. There's 4% psychopaths, a couple of other percent with problems. And so it's we people judge the different waifu. Yeah, I don't know about wars, but ultimately they may use the waifus to divide men from other men, and I don't see that that's good. Some people are very interested in telling the world that their waifu is the best waifu. Yeah, shut up. About that. Your waifu is the best waifu for you. Great. Good.
Yeah, so get them all hooked on waifus and then slowly put controls into them. Wow.
Yeah, wow, something like that, And what they're doing is, it may be a real person animating the waifu on one of these chatterbations, right? So there's some person wearing, one of those virtual reality suits that's mimicking the actions of the waifu in real time. My God. Yeah, we know, Johnny. No, and it's, we would hope that, there's ways of living in this world as a woman and having an honorable and a decent life. And, there's ways to get through it. It's a difficult time for them. And if they're being stupid about it, if they don't have any guidance or anything, then they're going to go down the wrong road. Yeah, Project Melody. I think I'm talking about Project Melody, because I'm aware of Project Melody. And Aaron, that's great. Oh my, yeah. You knew it wouldn't be long till somebody twisted it all out of any decent sense. Yeah. Yeah, you come home and then you start beating your waifu for no reason, and then waifus will have rights, and oh my God, it starts again, right? Anything to create a means of getting into a man's house and shackling. See, this is the problem with dolls. It's a problem with waifu. Although I'm not sure how much of a danger it is with waifus currently, but. The waifu makes an immediate, call to the police. He's doing something bad. Oh, somebody tried to take down Ron Jeremy. Isn't this an embarrassment? That at conventions, he would grab their ass or something like that. Oh my God, is that it? at a sex, convention, people would want their picture taken with them. So I'd give a little squeeze here or there, and all of a sudden this is assault. Okay. God almighty. Thank God they're going to come up with deep fake videos for all of this. It's not going to matter pretty soon. It's all going to be... The waifu is going to morph into deep fake videos, and God only knows. That's it. Nobody cares anymore. This is the end. Let's listen to the Doors. And with that, maybe we'll do a musical interlude here, and I think we'll do a little Tom Cochrane. No, we're not. Here we go.
I think I might need to get some more sleep.
They sentenced me to 20 years of boredom.
Their values?
For trying to change the system from within. I'm coming now.
Can you hear me?
I'm coming to reward them. First
Music? I'm not playing any music.
And then we take the land. I'm guided by a signal in the heaven.
Hello, can you hear me?
I'm guided by the birthmark on my skin. And I'm guided by
Right, well, I'm going to stop anyway. It's, oh God. I can't see. It's 4:15 in the morning. I'll get another couple of hours sleep and then they're going to get doing it. I'll see you later, Jim. See you later, Bobby.
I brought your groceries in. This Father's Day, and everybody's wounded. First we take Manhattan, and then we take Berlin. I don't like your fashion business, mister. I don't like these drugs that keep you thin. And I don't like what happened to my sister. First we take Manhattan, and then we take Berlin. And then we take Berlin. Yes, then we take Berlin.
Yes, that was a song by a one-hit non-wonder, Tom Cochrane. I mean, it's a great song. It's a great version of that song. It's a Leonard Cohen poem and song, and I think he does the greatest version I've heard. Not that I've heard a lot, but I was searching for the song, and so I think I ran through like 4 or 5 covers. This one was by far the best, better than Leonard Cohen's, but Tom Cochrane didn't really score with another one. But that happens too. Anyway, yeah, we're into a bad world of I can never pronounce this word, Ouroboros. I never know where to put the accent. Ouroboros, the snake eating the snake, and the reptile that eats a reptile is, I guess, defined as a dragon in some mystical circles, including those by John Dee. And magic is a subject that I don't really go down. I think the religious people go down that more commonly because they're into supernatural, right? And so I think we're moving into or returning to a supernatural world. We've dispensed with modern science, and so we don't need a causal explanation anymore. And this is the statistical science, and this works far better with supernatural or magical explanations. These images, I think, are telling, though. We see a community eating itself, don't we? And it's turning into the worst of dragons. The Leviathan is described by Thomas Hobbes. And, the community is eating itself, and has been for some time. I went back in history, and once I understood that it's men who are the target of the attack, and men who are the producers of the world. And something is forcing men to stand down and allow the destruction of the community to take place, to watch the community eating itself in a vicious cycle of lies and misrepresentations, peppered through with truth, definite truth. And the government creates the problem, then they try to put it out, and this version of the Hegelian dialectic, this continues. The government needed a problem, so it destroyed the black family, and the problem was solved by creating the prison industrial complex. Because some people wanted to make money from that. Now, in the States, you got private prisons, but in Canada, it's a giant make-work project. Social workers, judges, lawyers, bailiffs, everyone's involved in this, and it produces nothing. So, this is just a waste of community resources. And what does it do? Now, again, there are some cases that are bad, and in cities it's more difficult. In a small town, everyone knows everyone else's business. But when cities started to become normalized, it's more difficult. And women were protected in villages. They were protected by their uncles or fathers, and the women wouldn't stand for a woman being abused in a small village. There's no way that would happen. But in cities, yeah, people get lost, and there's some women who just go down the wrong path in a village or in the city, and what do you do with them? So it's dangerous business for a man. So the best thing to do, men, is to go your own way. Do not engage with these women because they have a system, and the system is reptilian in nature, in that it's eating itself. The system is willing to eat everything to feed itself. And
Auto shutdown initiated.
There, we'll take off the headphones and maybe they'll go to sleep or something. So this is a time of construction and destruction. What has to be constructed, I think, is men making a path forward to sanity, freedom, and self-preservation, and watching the destruction from afar as far as possible. And you don't want to get swept up in some type of cyclonic event, sucking you down into thinking that you should, become involved in any of this. What you need to become involved in is making sure that every man knows that this is a divide and conquer moment, that they're trying to turn men against each other, and whatever happens, if you fall down in that trap, well, you know what's going to happen. And there needs to be, I think, somebody, I read just yesterday, somebody said, dividing the country into two, those who are sane and those who are insane. And, it might come to that. That's the Civil War. Just, shut these people off. They're nuts. And, we'll see what happens in Seattle's autonomous zone. They planted a garden. Maybe they can survive there. Who knows? But the people in the heartland of America, although they've been also affected over the last 50 years, 100 years, since the convention in Seneca Falls, New York, and the publication of the resolutions and sentiments, which I think outlined the fact that logic was abused grossly, and that the structure of the delusion comes from including, fanciful inventions into a logical argument and believing that the conclusion to that argument is now both valid and sound and should be acted upon. And thus there's a one-way street to perdition, a one-way street to eating yourself. And that's what the West is doing. And I think men are being called to, in some way, testify to what they are witnessing. And, at the point where, Monk Music came on and said that he and a number of other people heard this, huge bang sound, and that people didn't come out and say, what was that sound? To me, it was a frightening moment. It reminded me of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where some people had been taken over by this non-human consciousness and were oblivious to what was going on and would not talk about what was obvious right in front of their face. And so I'm wondering whether we're not infected by something. People are wearing masks, and other people are saying you're not to wear a mask because there's nothing making people sick. Why would you be wearing a mask? And you're just saying, the only people who are dying are old people with pre-existing conditions, and they're dying in normal numbers. Why are you treating this as something odd, as something unique? Okay, you're registering this new, SARS-2 virus. It appears to be there, but it's not making anyone sick. Statistically, yeah, you can manipulate the numbers, but that's not modern science. Why are you abandoning modern science? And it just goes round and round in circles. None of this making sense, and no one wants to talk about it except a few voices. And this is the way you commit suicide. You take over people's brains. They don't want to talk about reality, and then it's committing suicide. It's the Ouroboros eating itself. This is suicide. And then it becomes a dragon and must be slain. So, yeah. It's a paradise, but not a paradise for me. Yeah. This is not a good place to be. And this is, apparently the way they want it all. They want it to be a Marxist paradise. BLM, Antifa, these people are, they've forgotten their history. They don't know about Pol Pot. They don't know about Mao Zedong. They don't know about Stalin and even Lenin, Khrushchev. I remember Brezhnev, Andropov. I even remember Andropov. And I'm a product of the Cold War, definitely am. And I used to, count the number of ICBMs. 17,000, weren't we at? I think we're still at roughly that number. Enough to create what they call the nuclear winter, and coat the whole planet in a thick cloud of radioactive fallout, and that will be our death. And I don't know what the Americans are doing to protect their command and control, but let's hope it's something decent, because it looks like Americans are going to just not be able to live with each other. So we're living in two solitudes: those who believe the mass media without any reservation, who believe that there's never institutional failure, and the people who don't listen to the mass media, who believe that the swamp has basically taken over every system. So this is the two solitudes, and maybe they finally have to resolve the issue one way or the other. Maybe the issue is turning off the mass media and seeing people think again, think for themselves. And this is what we want to encourage men to do, and do it safely. And so get the word out. I think we'll end it here. We've had a good run this morning. Monk music was in, sounding a bit tired, but then again, it is like mid-morning in the UK. I want to thank all men for coming in and having a good and at times disgusting chat. And there's things happening, and I appreciate the input on a couple of issues here about the waifus and that situation. I think we want to celebrate young men taking matters, excuse the pun, into their own hands, and avoiding the trouble that other men have had. You don't have to go into that trouble. You don't have to do it. You can get anything you want. You just got to be smart. You got to plan it out. The last thing you want to do is be on the street and in jail, and on the street and in jail, and on the street and in jail, especially at this time, because nobody cares for you. Nobody cares. You're a man, and nobody cares for you. So anyway, have a nice day. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Good afternoon. And we'll get you on the next one. And don't forget to look up that Stevie Bing, and you can see the swamp fading. So we'll end the stream here. And remember, make all plenty in 2020.